Holy moly! It's time for a What Happened on My Universe mode PPV special! It's Battleground, and it took place in Buffalo, New York. We began with a Divas title match as Paige challenged Brie Bella for the title, and it was Falls Count Anywhere. Ooh. Paige began the match like a house on fire, beating Brie Bella down and smashing her face to the mat, and after an elbow, Brie Bella got the advantage back, but instead of going all technical, she took a table to the ring, but then clotheslined Paige to the outside, and they fought out there. She even smashed her with the ring steps a few times. After some knees and more Brie offense, Paige finally got the advantage back with some headbutts, taking Brie Bella down, and then hitting a Northern Light suplex on the outside for a near fall. Paige kept Brie down with a page turner and headed to the ring, where she had some plans for that table. However, Brie scuppered those plans when she reversed an Irish whip and then hit a facebuster off the top rope. Well, second rope. She then put Paige through the table with a drop kick. Paige wasn't staying down, she kicked out and then got hit with a stunner. But after that she reversed and slammed Brie's head down to the mat with a rampage. And it was 1, 2, 3, a brand new Divas champion. It was the end of a feud now, as Cesaro took on his nemesis Big E in another massively even matchup between the two. Throughout the match it was move, Cesaro hitting a Ricola bomb, followed by a European uppercut, but then Big E gets the advantage back, and it's a back body drop, followed by a Gorilla Press Slam, and so on and so forth. Cesaro hitting another big power bomb and a suplex, but then Big E getting the advantage and hitting a clothesline. You genuinely didn't know who was gonna win. It did get to the point when you thought Cesaro had this in the bag when he hit the very European uppercut, but then, boom, a reversal and a belly-to-belly suplex. When Big E thought he had it in the bag, Cesaro reversed into a back body drop. But then after that, we had another reversal. It was Countermania. They headed to the outside. Cesaro, finally grabbing the advantage, hit a neutralizer on the outside before bringing it back in. And after a European uppercut, he did a giant swing. Would that keep Big E down for the 3? Would it bollocks? Nope. 2 count. Much to Cesaro's dismay, another back body drop, and then Big E hit the Big E splash, which got a 1, 2, 2, only a 2. It was still very even, as you can see. But then Cesaro hit the multiple gut-wrench suplexes, and I think it was finally good to say it was over. A neutralizer, and Cesaro finally defeated Big E. Recently, Seth Rollins has stopped at nothing to make sure that Ryback didn't get the win against him on episodes of Raw. Well, this time Mr. Money in the Bank was up against him one more time, and this time it was pay-per-view personal. Ryback began the match on beast mode, destroying Seth Rollins, throwing him about. Eventually Seth Rollins did get a knee to the head and got a big flurry of manoeuvres, including this nice Northern Light suplex and a flying clothesline. But then Ryback grabbed him, put him in the corner, and did his own move, the buckle bomb, throwing him into the corner. Ryback tried to hit another powerbomb, but this time Seth Rollins was ready after getting hit by 6 of them on Raw. He countered it and hit a DDT. He followed that with an Acai DDT, but soon enough he was feeling the wrath of Ryback one more time, who threw him back into the corner and then hung him up for a Tree of Woe, choking him out in the process. After that, Ryback set him up for the meat hook clothesline, but that didn't keep him down. He threw him down once more. But Rollins, ever the opportunist, reversed as he went for his finisher, hit a schoolboy super kick, and then the old school curb stomp, which held Ryback down for the 1, 2, 3, and Seth Rollins was victorious once again. It was time for the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar as he faced Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. But this wasn't going to start well for Dean Ambrose, as straight from the bell he got beaten the shit out of by Brock Lesnar. And then the suplexes started. Brock Lesnar literally took him to Suplex City. But suddenly, a rare Brock Lesnar mistake, and Dean Ambrose took advantage, hitting a DDT and a backbreaker. But would it be enough to keep the beast down? Well, another DDT, and then nope. Back to Suplex City went Dean Ambrose. Brock Lesnar was playing with his food, well, it seemed like it at times, more suplexes from the beast, and even a nice big takedown. Ambrose, however, was not going to go down without a fight, and hit an original dirty deeds. That didn't keep Brock Lesnar down. A giant back suplex off the top rope, that didn't keep Brock Lesnar down. Dean Ambrose chucked him to the outside and hit a DDT on the concrete floor. That didn't keep Brock Lesnar down somehow. Lesnar got the advantage once again, and it was a triple German suplex on the outside. After all that punishment, Dean Ambrose did beat the 10 count, but he walked straight into an F5, which Brock Lesnar hit, and then won the United States title. Can anyone defeat him for it? Other than Daniel Bryan, who beat him for the world title? Another feud ender now as Bad News Barrett took on the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Mark Henry began with headbutts. Big ones, the kind that knock you over. Mark Henry then proceeded to beat Wade Barrett's head in, and he gave him some bad news, namely lots of bruises, until then when Barrett finally reversed and managed to get a DDT. Barrett then hit a big boot so hard it knocked the ref out as well. After a couple of shots to the back, the ref was back up, and so was Mark Henry, so Barrett knocked him down with a combo, but he wasn't down for long. Henry clotheslined Bad News Barrett into the corner and then rammed his arse into his face. Barrett was then slammed down and headbutted while he was on the floor, but he then gained the advantage and gave him a bit of a crick in the neck. Barrett was getting confident, and after this DDT he headed to the second rope to hit a splash. He shouldn't have been so confident though, and when he went for the next move, Mark Henry reversed, hit a massive flapjack, and then hit a second rope splash of his own. He followed that with the world's strongest slam, which most people don't get up for, including Bad News Barrett. A win for Mark Henry. In Battleground's penultimate match, the world title was up for grabs as the Big Show defended against Kofi Kingston once again. Could Kofi do it this time? The omens weren't looking good when the Big Show reversed 3 of the first 4 moves. The Big Show definitely had Kingston's number, and he was dominant for the first section of the match. However, after hitting a backbreaker, the Big Show pushed Kofi away, which infuriated him, and he managed to reverse a punch. He then somehow hit that move, and then a kick to the back. But then Big Show got back into it, and a final cut was hit. Big Show was determined to keep the New Day member down, throwing him onto the barricade and then hurling him through the barricade. But Kofi did manage to get back into the ring. He even got the advantage back afterwards with a Hurricane Rana. Kofi hit a Russian leg sweep, however, Big Show reversed the next move and hit a Russian leg sweep of his own. Big Show then slammed Kofi down, and if he wasn't winded already, well, he was after he got trod on. Kofi then reversed one more time, hit a drop kick, and then a neck breaker. Unfortunately for Kofi, on his next move, Big Show elbowed him in the face, threw him against the ropes, threw him up in the air and hit a huge WMD, and just like that, the Big Show retained the world title. We were now on to our main event and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match as the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt challenged Daniel Bryan. It was gonna be a big one. The match began with a collar and elbow tie-up. However, once it got to the corner, Bray took the sneaky route and punched Daniel Bryan in the face. This pissed Daniel Bryan off though, and he hit a selection of punches and kicks in a combo followed by a DDT. He then made the mistake of celebrating to the crowd with a few yeses, and Bray Wyatt took control. However, that control was short-lived and Daniel Bryan hit a nice airplane spin. You don't see them anymore. As he was picking Bray Wyatt up though, Bray Wyatt hit a back body drop, and it was back in Bray Wyatt's hands. The pair headed to the outside and Bray Wyatt threw Daniel Bryan down the aisleway and hit a massive slam on the concrete. Bryan thought he was back in business with that trip, however, a moment later and Bray Wyatt was back in control with another reversal and threw Daniel Bryan into the corner post. Daniel Bryan beat the 10 count, however back in the ring he walked straight into more Bray Wyatt offense. The champ was back in business when he reversed into a Russian leg sweep and hit a selection of nice suplexes, including the dirty German. But when he headed to the top rope and went for an elbow, Bray moved out of the way and got a suplex of his own. Just like Cesaro and Big E earlier, we were at Countermania again, and Daniel Bryan was back in control. He put Bray Wyatt on the top rope for a suplex, but Bray Wyatt kicked him away and hit a giant crossbody. It wasn't enough, however, and Daniel Bryan hit a massive forearm followed by the solid knee plus, and that was that. Bray Wyatt was down for the 3 count and Daniel Bryan had retained the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Enjoy it, hope you did. Come back again on What Happened on My Universe Mode. Like and subscribe.